Folks, imagine this. It's 1978, and a young Emmitt Smith is just a gleam in the eye of Cowboys Nation. But the Dallas Cowboys are already cementing their legacy as America's team with a Super Bowl parade down the streets of Big D. Fast forward nearly 5 decades, and that same blue-starred spirit is roaring back to life at AT&T Stadium this Sunday, October 19th, as the Cowboys welcome their NFC East foes, the Washington Commanders, in a Week 7 showdown that could flip the script on this roller coaster season.
But hold on, because right now, the ground game's got more holes than a screen door on a submarine. After that gut-wrenching 30-27 loss to the Carolina Panthers last week, where the Cowboys mustered just 31 rushing yards, while Carolina's Rico Dowdle danced for 183, Dallas is scrambling to shore up their backfield. And the big news? They've elevated running back Malik Davis from the practice squad, a move that's got fans buzzing and one young rookie's head spinning. Welcome to your Cowboys Report. I'm your host, diving deep into the drama, the history, and the hope that keeps this franchise firing on all cylinders. Let's get into it. First off, let's recap that Panthers heartbreaker, because if there's one thing that sticks in your craw like a bad call from the refs, it's watching your team get bulldozed on the turf. The Cowboys, sitting at 2-3-1, came in riding high off a gritty tie against the Giants that kept NFC East hopes alive, but Carolina? They turned Bank of America Stadium into a track meet. Dowdle? The guy was a freight train, 183 yards on 22 carries, including a 75-yard scamper that had Dak Prescott shaking his head on the sideline. As a team, the Panthers racked up 216 rushing yards, exploiting gaps in Dallas's defensive line that looked wider than the Rio Grande. On the flip side, our boys in silver and blue, Javonte Williams, the veteran powerhouse we snagged from Denver on a 1-year steal, grinded out 29 yards on 13 carries, respectable, but not the thunder we need. Then there's rookie Jaden Blue, the speedy 5th-round pick out of Texas, who lit up the Longhorns with his 4.38 wheels. He got 3 touches and 0 yards. Zilch. Nada. It's the kind of stat line that makes you wonder if the ball was greased. Overall, Dallas's ground attack has been sputtering all season, averaging just 82.5 rushing yards per game through 6 contests, dead last in the NFC East behind Washington's pesky 112.3. That's not the Cowboys' way, friends. Remember 1992? Emmitt Smith, the Hall of Fame Bulldog, led the league with 1,713 yards and 18 scores, powering Dallas to their 3rd Lombardi in 4 years. We gotta channel that grit, or this season's playoff dreams turn into a bad country song. Now, enter stage right, Malik Davis, the undrafted gem from Florida, who's been yo-yoing between the roster and practice squad like a cowboy on a bucking bronc. Signed as a free agent in 2022, Davis burst onto the scene as a rookie with 161 yards and a touchdown on just 38 carries. Think 4.2 yards per pop, efficient as a Jerry Jones business deal. He flashed that vision and burst against the Rams, juking defenders like they were standing still. Last year, injuries sidelined him to 3 games, but he spent all of 2024 grinding on the practice squad, waiting for his shot. Cut during final 2025 roster trims after Dallas loaded up with vets like Williams and Miles Sanders, plus rookies Blue and Clemson bruiser Phil Maffa, Davis fought back, signing right before preseason and dropping 63 yards on 7 carries in the exhibitions. Impressive? You bet. And now, with the Cowboys activating for Week 7, it's a clear signal. Depth matters, especially against a Commanders' rush defense that allowing 4.1 yards per carry. But here's the whisper in the locker room that's got tongues wagging. This elevation might spell tough love for Jaden Blue. The kid's been a ghost so far, inactive for first 4 games, then thrust into action when Sanders tweaked his hamstring. 7 carries for 7 yards total? That's not the explosive playmaker we drafted to pair with Williams' power. Blue's got that home state fire. Born in Austin, he torched college offenses for over 1,400 all-purpose yards last year. But NFL speed? It's eluded him. Elevating Davis, a familiar face with proven cuts, could light a fire under Blue. Or, as one anonymous scout told me off the record, it's the front office saying, "Kid, prove you're not just a highlight reel. Hopefully, it's the push Blue needs a breakout, because a three-headed monster back there, Williams pounding, Davis slicing, Blue flying, could turn this offense into the high-octane machine we saw in 2023, when Dallas led the league with 31.3 points per game. Let's zoom out for some tactical breakdown, because coaching chess is where games like this get won or lost. Under new offensive coordinator Clayton Adams, hired after that McCarthy shakeup, Dallas has leaned heavy on the pass, with Dak Prescott slinging it for 1,617 yards and 12 touchdowns already. CD Lamb hauling in 7.3 catches a game like clockwork, and George Pickens adding that deep threat spice we missed last year. But against Washington, Dan Quinn's fingerprints are all over this Commanders squad. Remember, Quinn was our DC from 2021 to 2023, scheming up ways to bottle up Tony Pollard and force Dak into checkdowns. Now, as Washington's head man, he's got Jaden Daniels, a dual-threat rocket who leads the NFL with 520 rushing yards from the QB spot. Poised to carve us up. Dallas's defense? It's been a sieve, ranked 32nd in PFF grade and 31st in DVOA, coughing up 30.7 points over the last 3 games. Micah Parsons is a beast with 6.5 sacks, but the run D? Gassed out, allowing 4.8 yards per carry. Expect Adams to mix some more gap scheme runs with Davis's agility. Think outside zones where he can hit the edge like he did in preseason. On D, Mike Zimmer, or whoever's calling the shots now. Needs to spy Daniels with DeMarcus Lawrence, or we'll be chasing our tails all afternoon. Comparative stats paint a grim picture. Washington's O-line ranks 2nd in run block win rate, while Dallas's is 22nd. If we can't establish the run early, it'll be another aerial dogfight, with both teams averaging over 26 points per game. But here's an expert take from former Cowboys RB Felix Jones, who I cornered at a Dallas charity event last week. Malik's got that old-school burst. Reminds me of my rookie days dodging Eagles linebackers. If Blue watches tape and learns from him, this backfield becomes a nightmare for defenses. Washington's vulnerable up front. Pound him early, control the clock, and Dak picks them apart late. Shifting gears to the bigger canvas. Because Cowboys News isn't just about one game. It's about legacy, rivalries, and that electric pulse of Cowboys Nation. Does Commanders clash? Pure NFC East venom. Forget the polite handshakes. These two have history thicker than Texas chili. Back in the day, Washington's Hogs would wallow in the trenches against our doomsday defense. But fast forward to the 90s, and Dallas owned a division with 3 Super Bowls, leaving the Skins, as we cheekily still call them, in the dust. Fast forward to now. Washington's 3-3, riding Daniels' magic carpet irrelevance under Quinn, who knows our playbook better than my ex knows my coffee order. They're 26 in total D, but stingy against a run at home, though this is on our turf, where AT&T's retractable roof and 100,000 screaming fans turn Sundays into seismic events. This week's 7 tilt isn't just a game. It's a referendum on resilience, on turning practice squad dreams into primetime reality. Malik Davis steps up, Jaden Blue ignites, and Dak leads the charge. Watch it unfold under those gleaming lights at AT&T, where legends are born and rivals are buried. Tune in Sunday at 4:25 Eastern Time on Fox. Grab your gear, fire up the grill, and let's show Washington why Dallas owns the East. Howdy and star on. Cowboys, we've got a division to conquer.